Hello everyone, myself Raghunanda, Assistant Professor of Physics from Government First Grade College, Bidar. As per the BSc 6th semester syllabus of Gulbarga University, now I am going to conduct a class on the topic An Introduction to Astrophysics. In this chapter, I am going to explain about astrophysics, scope of astrophysics, star and its properties, in the first part. And in the second part, I'm going to explain about the topics spectral classification of stars, HR diagram, and stellar evolution. Now, let us start with the definition of astrophysics. Astrophysics is a branch of physics which deals with the study of physical nature of stars and other celestial bodies and the applications of the laws of physics or theories of physics to the interpretation of astronomical observations. So it is especially the applications of laws of physics to the to understand the behavior of celestial objects such as stars and galaxies. Now, scope of astrophysics. So, what else we are going to study in astrophysics? So, we are going to apply the laws of physics which are discovered in the terrestrial laboratories to the situations in which extremely large distances and time intervals are involved. And we are going to discover new laws of nature which may not be discovered in terrestrial laboratories. And also, the behavior of matter and energy are studied under the conditions of pressure, temperature, and gravitational and magnetic forces which cannot be realized in the terrestrial laboratories. So these are all the things which we are going to study in astrophysics. As we all know, there were many astronomers who strived hard to discover many of the facts related to universe. Some of them are Claudius Ptolemy, who has given the geocentric model of the Earth, and Nicholas Copernicus, who has given the heliocentric model of the universe. Galileo Galilei is one such an astronomer who has invented a telescope, and he has supported the heliocentric model which was given by Copernicus. Edwin Powell Hubble is another astronomer who discovered that the universe is expanding. So, like this, many astronomers they work hard to find out the truths related to universe. Now, what is star? Star, it is a sphere of gas shining under its own power. So it is a self-luminous body. So how continuously star shines means it is because of the continuous nuclear fusion reactions which are taking place inside the star. In a stable star there are two kinds of forces. They act in the opposite direction which keeps the star stable. What are those? One is the gravitational force of attraction, which acts towards the center of the star. Another one is the radiational pressure due to the nuclear fusion reactions, which acts in the outward direction. These two forces keep the star stable. Now, how the distances between the stars and other celestial bodies are measured. So, as we all know, the unit of measurement is meter. Measurement of distance is meter. But we cannot use this unit for the measurement of distances between the celestial bodies such as stars or galaxies. So we make use of different units of measurement of distance between the stars. What are those? They are the astronomical unit, light year, and parsec. So, astronomical unit, it is the average distance from the earth to the sun, which is equal to 1.50 into 10 to the power of 11 meters. Next one is the light year. It is the distance that light travels in 1 year with the speed of 3 lakhs kilometers per second, which is equal to 9.46 into 10 to the power of 15 meters. The another unit of measurement of distance between stars is parsec. So parsec is the distance of a star which subtends an angle, that is parallax angle, of about 1 arc second with the Earth's orbit around the Sun, which is equal to 3.26 light years. So that is how we can measure the distances between different celestial bodies. Now, parallax means it is an apparent change in the location of a remote object due to the change in vantage point of an observer. If we see if we see a distant object from two different positions, its position appears to be different. So that is known as parallax. With the help of parallax method, we can measure the distance of any stars. Now, the properties of stars. There are mainly six principal characteristics used to describe the stars. They are luminosity, temperature, radius, mass, chemical composition, and age. Now, let us know one by one in detail about all these properties of the stars. First one is the luminosity. The luminosity of a star is an absolute value that measures the total power radiated by a star in all directions. So, luminosity is the total power radiated by the star in all directions. The unit of the luminosity is watt. And always the luminosity of any star is measured in terms of the luminosity of a sun, which is equal to 3.90 into 10 to the power of 26 watts. Luminosity is a very important property which provides the information about star structure and age. Another property of the star is brightness. So what is meant by brightness of a star? How we are going to define the brightness of a star means it is the amount of energy that is received on the surface of Earth per unit area per unit time. That is known as brightness of a star. We measure the apparent star brightness as the fraction of the luminosity received by us. So the unit of measurement of brightness is watt per square meter. The formula is B is equal to, that is brightness is equal to L divided by 4 pi d square. So from this formula we can conclude that the apparent brightness is dependent upon luminosity and the distance between the star and the Earth. So we can also conclude that if two stars are at a distance of if they are at the same distance, and if one of the star is of higher temperature, then the star with higher temperature will appear brighter. And if we take another example, if two stars are having same temperature but one of them is of larger size, then the larger sized star will appear more luminous. Means the luminosity of a star depends upon the temperature and the size of a star. Now, the brightness of the star is measured. The method of measurement of brightness of the star is discovered by Hipparchus in the year 150 BC. So this measurement scale is known as magnitude scale. So on this scale, the brightest star is would be taken as the star having magnitude 1, and the star which has the half of the brightness of the first magnitude star will be considered as the star of magnitude 2, and so on. Like this, the dimmest star will be categorized as the star of sixth magnitude. So the brightness measured in such a manner by using Hipparchus magnitude scale is known as an apparent brightness. Later, with the invention of telescopes, this scale, magnitude scale, is extended from plus 26 to minus 26, and our sun comes in the position of 26.2. Now another type of magnitude is also there, that is the absolute magnitude. The absolute magnitude of a star is the apparent magnitude it would have if the star is at a distance of 10 parsec from the earth. If the star is put at the distance of 10 parsec and if its apparent magnitude is measured, then such a magnitude is known as an absolute magnitude. So this is all about brightness and luminosity of a star. Now temperature of a star. By using different laws of radiation, the temperature of the star is measured. So by comparing the luminosities of two stars, by knowing the luminosities of the stars, we can measure the temperature of the star by using Stephens-Boseman law. And such a temperature is known as an effective temperature. If by using the Planck's law, by making use of specific wavelengths, if the temperature of the star is measured, then such a temperature is known as an is known as a color temperature. So as we all know that the color of a star is dependent on the temperature. So usually the hottest stars will appear blue in color and the coldest star will appear red in color. And with the help of different filters also, we can measure the temperatures of different stars. Now we can consider the emission spectra of any star as the black body spectra. The peak wavelength emission gives an idea of the surface temperature of any star. The shorter the peak wavelength, the hotter will be the black body or hotter will be the star. By using Wien's displacement law, we can calculate the surface temperature of any star. So here lambda maximum is the wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity. So T is the surface temperature, which is equal to a constant called as Wien's displacement constant, which is 2.9 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters Kelvin. So with the help of this, we can calculate the value of surface temperature of any star, and by making use of this formula, the temperature of surface temperature of the sun is calculated to be equal to 5800 Kelvin. Now what are the other properties of the stars? They are size of a star. So as we all know, the luminosity of a star is equal to 4 pi r square sigma T to the power 4. So here with the help of this formula, r can be obtained, that is the radius of the star can be obtained. Now mass of the star is calculated indirectly by knowing the factors on which the mass of the star is dependent. The mass of the star is obtained. And chemical composition of star. The chemical composition of any star is obtained by the spectrum of the star. So the dark absorption line in the spectrum gives the information of the elements which are present in the star. So like this, we can study the different properties of the stars which are dependent on different factors. So students, up to here we came to know about astrophysics, scope of the astrophysics, and then star properties. In the next video, we are going to learn about the spectral classification of stars, HR diagram, and stellar evolution. Thank you.